What would you have done in this situation? Put yourself in this person's shoes and think about it. The police were called in response to a disturbing incident that took place just outside El Paso, Texas, in December 2014. The man telling this story was working the night shift at a drive-thru. He had seen plenty of strange things before, but nothing compared to what happened that night. This wasn't just the cherry on top. It was the most terrifying experience of his life. It was just past 1 a.m., and everything seemed normal. The store had gone at least 45 minutes without a single customer. Nothing unusual for a highway gas station at that hour. Then he noticed an elderly woman approaching. Stepping out from behind the counter, he moved to open the door for her. Her skin was wrinkled, and something about her seemed off. She was bundled up in a scarf and women's gloves, and she wore a massive pair of sunglasses that covered most of her face. Wearing sunglasses in the middle of the night was strange enough, but what truly unsettled him was the overwhelming sense of dread that washed over him the moment she stepped inside. And then, things got even stranger. "Would you mind stepping outside for a moment and checking my car? I think something's wrong with it," she asked. Her voice was deep, raspy, almost sickly. Politely, he refused. Store policy was clear. He wasn't allowed to leave the building unattended under any circumstances. He told her she was welcome to use the phone if she needed help. The woman paused for a second, then simply said, "Okay." Without another word, she turned and walked toward the restroom. She came out of the restroom 5 minutes later, walked up to the counter and said, "There's no toilet paper. Could you step outside and grab some from the restroom by the drive-thru?" By this point, he was undeniably on edge. Something about this woman felt wrong, but he wasn't about to take any chances. Thinking quickly, he went into the employee restroom behind his office, grabbed a roll of toilet paper, and handed it to her. "Here you go, ma'am," he said. The woman didn't seem pleased. Her response was curt, almost irritated. "Thanks," she muttered, then turned and walked back into the restroom. Another 5 minutes passed, almost to the second. He couldn't stop staring at the door, waiting for her to come out. When she finally did, she didn't leave. Instead, she started wandering aimlessly around the store, stopping now and then to pretend to look at the shelves. But she wasn't looking at the shelves. She was looking at him, not even trying to hide it. For 15 agonizing minutes, she circled the store, staring at him with an unblinking intensity that sent chills down his spine. Then, without saying a word, she walked out. But 2 minutes later, she was back. "The soda machine outside isn't working," she said. "I put my money in, but it won't give me what I bought. Could you come out and help me?" He admitted that if it had been anyone else, he probably would have stepped outside without a second thought. But something deep inside him screamed that under no circumstances should he leave the safety of the store, or the watchful eye of the security cameras. Still, he felt an overwhelming sense of obligation pressing down on him. Even so, he stuck to his excuse. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't leave the store. It's store policy." That clearly didn't sit well with her. To make a long story short, she tried 2 more times to convince him to step outside. Her frustration grew each time. Eventually, she even threatened to call his manager. He calmly offered to give her the number, but made it clear that he wasn't stepping out from behind the counter. Finally, she gave up. She stormed out of the store, but she didn't leave. For the next 10 minutes, he could see her standing on the sidewalk across the street, just staring at him. Then, at last, she was gone. The rest of the night passed without incident. Around 5 a.m., a truck driver came in. breaking the eerie silence that had settled over the store. By the time his shift ended at 8 a.m., the whole encounter felt almost surreal, like a bad dream he was finally waking up from. That was, until he walked to his truck. His car was parked about 66 feet away in the back lot. As he approached, something on the ground near his driver's side door caught his eye. A neatly folded scarf, a pair of women's gloves, and those massive sunglasses. He recognized them instantly. His breath caught in his throat as a cold wave of panic washed over him. But there was one more thing. Next to the sunglasses, lying abandoned on the pavement, was a clump of hair. Or rather, what he now realized was a wig. Now, try to picture her without the gloves, without the sunglasses, without the hair. Who was this woman? And why was she so desperate to get him outside? Now, be honest. Regardless of whether you're a guy or a girl, would you have reacted the same way? Hand on your heart. Would you have caved under the pressure? Would you have stepped outside with her? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Also, feel free to drop your own spooky story ideas. I'll be looking forward to reading them.